All right, how you doing? Mr. Cornwell here. Just going to continue with our soccer unit. I've been looking at last week's videos and last week's feedback. I see that I've got 95 feedback forms going, so thank you very much for getting your feedback to me. I've been reading through all of them and see that a lot of you are being creative and using different types of equipment to do our soccer skills here. So for week 6, we're going to continue doing with some more soccer skills. And Mr. Burglar and I are going to put up some other different challenge videos as well. So make sure you take a look at those as well, okay? So up to this point in our soccer unit, we've talked about our foot dribbling, our trapping, and our inside of the foot kick or our passing. So a couple new skills we're going to talk about today. And we're going to do them both inside and outside using different types of equipment, okay? First thing I want to talk about today is throw-ins. A throw-in is used when the ball leaves the field of play through a sideline. Sideline's important. If the soccer ball rolls out the field of play, the soccer field through a sideline, it gets put back into play by a throw-in. Okay. If Alden kicked it out of bounds, then say Depew would get to throw it back in. Okay. So a couple of things you need to know about throwing. There are some rules with it though. Okay. One, you got to have 2 hands on your ball. You're not allowed to just throw it back in with 1 hand. Okay. So you got to have 2 hands on the ball. Second thing, ball must be over your head. It cannot be like a chest pass in basketball or like a baseball throw. It must be over your head, okay? Third thing, and probably the most trickiest sometimes, is you have to keep both feet in contact on the ground. You are allowed to do a toe drag, that's okay, but you gotta have both feet kept in contact with the ground, okay? The final thing is you must stay behind the line, okay? For my demonstration purposes here, I've got one of my Husky's toys here. This is going to be my line that I need to stay behind, okay? Practicing my throw-ins, I set myself up a laundry basket over there. That's my little target I'm going to try and get it into, okay? So when I'm doing my throw-ins, once again, both hands on the sides of the soccer ball, over your head, both feet on the ground. You can't do a toe drag, and your feet's got to stay behind the line when you're done doing your throw-ins. So here's something that would look like, okay? So I got both feet behind the line, 2 hands over my head, practice on our throwing. Ooh, a little too far. Sonoma, you could have got that for me. Try one more of those. 2 hands on the ball, over my head, both feet on the ground. Oh, almost. So you can make a little challenge for yourself out of it. Maybe you want to see how many times you can hit a target out of 10. I've used a laundry basket. If you've got a hula hoop, you can put a hula hoop down. If you want to try and get it to land on a chair maybe that you have, that's fine. Even if you want to try and throw it in over your head into a little basketball net, either inside or outside, you can do that as well. Okay, so there's always different ways you can challenge yourself. So that's throw-ins. We'll be back in a second to show you a couple other skills. All right, Mr. Cornwell here again. Now I've moved outside. I've actually put on some of my football cleats that I go running in. I like to run outside on my trails that I have here, so it's kind of muddy and slippery, so I put my cleats on so I don't fall when I'm demonstrating these things. One of the things that we're going to be doing here is working on our top of the foot or our laces kick, okay? So again, any type of drills that we're doing here, make sure that you've got parent permission with what you're doing and make sure that you're being safe. I don't want you guys getting hurt, and making sure that you have enough space to do what you're doing, okay? So a couple of balls that I have here, this is like a 4 square or a playground ball. If that's what you have, that's all you have, you can use that. I do have a soccer ball here. This is a size 5 one. I blew it up, make sure I got enough air in it. So I'm going to be using this for our demonstration purposes, okay? So the first thing that we're going to talk about with that top of the foot or that laces kick, it's kind of set up the exact same way as you do the inside of the foot kick, okay? You still want to talk about your plant foot, which is your non-kicking foot, ending up next to and slightly behind the soccer ball. But this time, instead of using the instep of your foot, you want to make contact with the top of your foot or your laces. Okay, if we remember our football unit, we were kicking off the tees. This is what we want to do in our soccer unit now. So when I make contact, I want to dig my big toe underneath that soccer ball and try and get this ball high and far, okay? So one of the things I like doing is I like to see how far I can kick the ball using my top of the foot or my laces kick. This is a good workout too. So I'm gonna have a little bit of an approach. You remember from football unit, you can just take like 3 steps back, a couple of steps off to the side of your plant foot side. Make sure you keep your eye on the ball when you're doing this. This kick can be used for shots on goal. It can be used for clearing the soccer ball out of your zone. It should be nice, high, and far. Ooh. That's my exercise. I'll be right back to get it. Whew. All right, I'm back. That gets tiring, kicking and chasing, but you know what? It's fun. I like doing it. So I mentioned the other type of situation you can use that top of the foot laces kick in is shooting on net. I have a hockey net here. I don't have any type of soccer goal or anything like that, but I do have a hockey net that I'm going to use. Depending on the type of ball that you're using, if you've got a softer ball, you can use maybe like a plastic or a PVC net. This is a real hockey goal, so I can use my soccer ball with this. If you don't have a net, you can just try and kick in between two trees that you might have in your yard. If you want to maybe have a mom or dad help you, if you have a board that you can put up against the fence or something like that, you can. Just make sure that you're asking for permission whenever you're using for a goal, okay? So I'm going to use my top of the foot or laces kick to try and make some goals here. Now my goal is a lot smaller than a regular soccer net, so I'm going to take a little bit of power off of my kick. I don't want to go over top of the crossbar. I want to try and get it on net, okay? Keep my eye on the ball, following through. Take a look at my net. You'll see that I do have a couple of water bottles that I kind of tucked up in the corner there. I'm using those as like kind of targets. When I shoot on net, I try to have something in there that I can use as a target to try and make goals. Okay. So another challenge that I can do, how many goals can you make out of 10? Can you hit your targets? You can use maybe even paper plates or something else in there to try and hit targets in your net. Yeah, feels good. A little tired from chasing that ball down. We'll talk about another skill here in a second. All right, next thing I'm going to show you, it's not really a skill, but it's like an activity that I like to do, and it's juggling a soccer ball. No, you're not using your hands, throwing it up and down like this, seeing how many times you can catch. It's using any part of your body except for your hands to try and keep the ball up. Soccer ball juggling, okay? Again, this is a challenge or an activity where you need space. I don't know if I'd recommend doing this inside your house. If you had a soft, squishy ball, maybe, but we don't want to get things broken in the house, okay? So seeing how many contacts you can do to keep the ball up without letting it hit the ground. So that would be one. Oh, not a good contact there. Let me try again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, you can see I need some practice on my ball control. But juggling the soccer ball, that was 6 contacts. Maybe I'd challenge myself and, do the drill for like 5 minutes and see what my high number of contacts could be, okay? Give it a try, see what you think. All right, so that's it for our week 6 soccer skills. Like I said, watch the videos towards the beginning of the week if you can. Use the entire week to work on this at your leisure. And then if you'd like to leave us some feedback, you can do the form on Fridays to leave us some feedback either Thursday or Friday. If you want to snap a picture of yourself or a quick little video clip of you doing soccer skills, you can send them to myself or Mr. Burglar, our school email. We're working on a little gallery to post those things that our students are sending us pictures in, okay? So be on the lookout for that. Also, don't forget, Mr. Burglar and I got something special that we're working up for a different type of challenge for the week. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay active. We'll see you soon. Go Bulldogs.